Hi, this is Anil and welcome to the video tutorial for the Learning Lad on C++ programming. So in the previous tutorial we have learned how to pass multiple parameters to a generic function and that multiple parameters were of the same generic type. So here in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to pass multiple parameters, and that multiple parameters are going to contain some standard data types such as int, float, char, string, etc. Right, so here we're gonna write our generic function. So first we need to write the keyword template. So it's gonna be template, and then the less than symbol and greater than symbol, and here we need to write the keyword type name or class. I'm gonna write type name, and then we need to write the identifier name, and let's say capital T, and then we need to write the return type of our function. Let's say void, we're not gonna return any values, and then the function name, which is display, and here this display function is gonna take multiple parameters, and the first parameter that this display function is gonna take is unknown right now, and it will be known in the compile time. So I'm gonna refer this identifier T, and let's say X, and then we're gonna pass an integer value. So I'm gonna use int, and let's say Y. And in the previous tutorial, this both parameters were of the same generic type. Here, this first parameter is a generic type, or the type of this first parameter is unknown, and it will be known when we compile this program. And the second parameter is a standard data type, integer. All right. So here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna print out the value of this first parameter, the number of times specified in this second parameter. So this way what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a for loop, and here I'm gonna create a loop counter variable. So it's gonna be int counter, and let's initialize this one to 1, and then this counter is less than or equal to Y, then counter plus plus, and here inside this for loop we're just gonna print out the value of this first parameter X. So it's gonna be cout and X, and let's end this line. Alright, next we need to prototype this function. So I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it here before my main function, and in my main function I'm gonna call this display function. So it's gonna be display, and I'm just gonna pass a value of 10, the generic type here, the first parameter, and then I'm gonna pass, let's say 3. Now when we call this display function, the compiler is gonna come to know that okay, the first parameter that this display function is gonna take is gonna be of type integers, and the second parameter is predefined, which is of type integers. And if I build and run this, we're gonna get 10 3 times. Now I'm gonna pass, let's say Anil Shetty, and if I build and run this, it's gonna print that 3 times. And if I change this one to, let's say 8, and build and run, we'll get 8 times. And similarly, I can pass a floating point value here. So the notable thing here is, since this first parameter is of generic type, we can pass any type of data, and the second parameter is a standard type, and which is defined, and it is of type integers. And that's why, whenever we call this function display, this second parameter must be an integer value. So this is it, guys. This is about passing a standard parameter or the standard data type to a generic function. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like my Facebook page, and stay updated with the latest videos that we're gonna make, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.